Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know go right in your settings. Yes, go down there, dig around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and use it. Subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too so you know when I upload or when I want to pop in because I have this segment called Tales from the Dark Side, and I go over to the dark side, meaning over to GB News, over to Talk TV, over to all they little magazines that they have Harry and Meghan centered, in talking nonsense about them. I go over there, pull up one of their segments, we talk about it, we chit chat about it, we kiki about it, and mostly and importantly, we drag them for the filth that they are because of their lies and projection. That is what Tales of the Dark Side is about. And every now and then it will pop up. And if you have your notification on, you will know when that happens. So, yes, turn that notification on. It is so, so, so important. All right, while you're in there too, make sure you give me a thumbs up because I am fighting with this algorithm. I have been fighting with it ever since I became a podcaster, and it is my nemesis. It continues to drag me by my neck up and down these internet streets, and I really would appreciate your help with that problem. I'm telling you. And right about here, that's a join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so happy, so grateful, so appreciative of that support. I cannot tell you how much. Also, if you choose to donate to the channel, a one time donation, our super thanks button is right over there. And all donations to this channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, with all that said, let's get to the read because, of course, like usual, we always have a lot. I be in these internet streets looking around corners and peeping under rocks trying to find all kind of good stuff for us to chit chat about. And today is no exception. I have found a lot of stuff. So, as I was putting this read together, I was in these internet streets. I was over on Instagram, and the squatties on Instagram is doing what they were doing yesterday. You remember yesterday in my podcast, I said this is the second day the squatties felt like dragging Kate because it was Groundhog Day, I guess, because they said it felt so good the day before they wanted to do it again. Well, it must be Groundhog Day again because the squatties have not let up off of Kate. They still over there dragging that woman. And I think because she has shown her face, she was over at the remembrance ceremony, the service, and she also was, standing there, a part of the Remembrance Day today. And so the squatties are just not pleased looking at her face, knowing that she is a liar. I saw one post, but I'm not featuring it in my podcast today, but it just has a picture of Kate with a big red lettering liar printed over her face. That is how the squatties are feeling about her. And it is a lot of posting about that on Instagram and just a whole lot of other stuff. Because y'all know that's the nature of the beast of Instagram. They can concentrate on numerous of things at the same time, but mostly dragging Kate. I'm telling you. And a little dragging William, dragging Charles with his nonsense, because he up to some nonsense. And not so much Camilla, not so much dragging her, because we drug her yesterday. We drug her yesterday. And that's what's going on there. I went over to TikTok. TikTok is still lost their mind over this election, and they are not letting up. I saw one or two TikToks that was referencing or had was talking about Harry and Meghan, and it was really really good. But it wasn't really about Harry and Meghan so much as it was dragging Kate. Everybody is in the mood to drag Kate. I'm telling you. It is because people are just so sick of the performative victimhood of her and William walking around billionaires and living in castles and wanting people to feel sorry for them and willing to lie to get that sympathy. And people are just not having it, especially squatties. So I saw a couple of them over to TikTok. Like I said, I didn't go over to the dark side. If you don't see a pop up, if you don't see a dark side pop up, you know I hadn't went over to the dark side. I didn't go over there. Still protecting my peace. Still feel like I have to protect my peace from the Angela Levins, from the Tom Bowers, from all of those toadies and flying monkeys. I just feel like I need to protect my peace right now, so I did not go over there. I didn't even go on a website. Sometimes I'll go on their website. I won't go and watch all their panels or anything like that, but I will go on their website. I didn't even go on their website today. Today's Sunday. I am really protecting my peace. And of course, y'all know, last but not least, I was in at my home away from home, which is X, formerly known as Twitter. And I'm telling you what the squatties on Instagram is not doing, the squatties on Twitter is doing. I'm telling you, the squatties on Twitter are focused like a laser beam in dragging Kate. They are still dragging Kate. They want to drag Kate. You can't deter them from dragging Kate. You bring up something different. They might engage with you about it, but they go back to dragging Kate. They are really, really disgusted by everything that is or has anything to do with that family, especially Kate and William. So that's what's going on there. And then also some good stuff coming out for Harry just being the good guy that he is, just a genuinely good guy. It's so amazing to me to see that this genuinely good person came from that family. Because when you look at that family overall, especially Charles, and what kind of human being he is, and you look at the things that he has done and how he continues to center himself and use his baby boy and his mistress, he absolutely chose her over his little baby boy, his little baby son, who had nothing. And yeah, and Harry came out of all of that and has ended up to be such a wonderful man. Mm. It's amazing to me. I think, really, well, it's something called the resilient child syndrome. I was going to say that Harry needs to be studied. The psychologist needs to get together and study him. How a person as good, as kind, as community focused as Harry is come out of a situation like that. But it is something called the resilient child syndrome, where a lot of children can be born into very dire situations, and situations like Harry. Harry was not he didn't come out of a financially dire situation, but he came out of a situation where emotionally and psychologically he was starved. He was starved, and he has turned out to be such a great human being. And it's called resilient child syndrome. But I still think Harry probably needs to be studied because he's such a great guy. And to come from those folks, those selfish people, because you look at them, they selfish. I know that was a tangent. Y'all know sometimes I go on a tangent, especially thinking about how good Harry is. And when I see all the, some good deeds that he's done, I'll go on and start a tangent. But let's get back to that. But that's some of the things that the squatties are talking about on X. They're talking about how good Harry is and giving Harry his flowers. That's one thing. Now, we will drag people on X. We will drag them and drag them and drag them. Like I said, this is the third day that the squatters are dragging Kate. But we have no problem with giving Harry and Meghan and anybody else who is good. They're flowers. We love doing that too. So that's something that's happening on X. And just a little other, little things here and there, and we will talk about it. So with all that said, let's get to the read. Let's start the read out. And okay, we're gonna start with this. This is about last night when all of the royals, at least the royals that are able-bodied and not sick. Well, I guess all of them sick, really, in the head or either in the body or either claiming to be sick. I know that's a little messy, but it's true. It's true. Because mostly sick in the head more so than in body. But when this is about last night, they were all at the Royal Albert Hall for the Remembrance service, and um, they arrived and nobody was there. It was no crowds there or nothing. They had all these barriers out for people to stand behind, to cheer them, to praise them, to show deference to them, or somehow take a picture of them. Because we all know and remember when Harry and Meghan last went to the Royal Albert Hall. She was dressed in that beautiful red dress, and of course, Harry was dressed in his military uniform, and the light bulbs were just flashing. Oh my goodness, everybody was so excited to see them, even though they knew that this was one of their last engagements that they will ever do as senior members of the royal family. So compare that to last night when nobody showed up. And I'm telling you, they had all of their heavy hitters. The royal family, they had all their heavy hitters there. They had the king. Well, we all know his horse wasn't there, but she's not a heavy hitter anyway. Because if you had dug down in those BBC comments when they announced that she was not going to attend the remembrance service or the remembrance service on the cenotaph, and they made that announcement and they left those comments open, y'all would have understood why I just said she's not a heavy hitter. I went in them comments and I'm telling you, they called Camilla everything but a child of God. I'm telling you, it was something to behold. I'm surprised they didn't clean up those comments, but it was pretty bad for her. And it shows that the UK citizens do not consider her as queen. The only queen that they consider is the queen, the proper queen, is the one that's laying over there in Windsor. They don't consider themselves having a queen at this time. So I digress. But yes, all the heavy hitters was there. The king was there. The prince and princess of Wales was there. The duke and duchess of Edinburgh was there. The what is it? Princess Royal Anne was there. Her husband Sir Timothy was there, and I think the Duke of Gloucester, and then the one, I don't know who he is, but it's the one look like he is looking for a banana peel every time he is walking around, because if he eventually slips on it, he's out of here. That one. Y'all know the one that William looks a lot alike him these days. I'm just saying. We'll put a picture of him right here. I'm telling you, he is looking for banana peels everywhere he go because he don't want to slip on one, because if he does, he is out of here. But he was there also, and nobody cared. Nobody showed up. I mean, the whole city of London showed the royal family its bare butt, saying, "We don't care. We do not care." It was nobody there except the press and their staff, and that was it. I did not see not one flash bulb go off. But I digress. I'm going to put this up, and this squatter wrote about it. It says, even after 2/3 day of advertising where Kate was going to be tonight, the barriers remain empty, surrounded only by staff. The four people who were walking by stopped to see who was getting out of the convoy. Once William got out, they walked off. Kudos to whoever filmed it. Isn't that sad? When it was just people, just happened to be four people walking by, stopped to see who was getting out of the convoy, saw that William got out, and kept on walking. They're in trouble. They're trying to regroup, trying to get you to forget. Now, I'm telling you, their comrades in arms, those rags over there, and I said comrades in arms for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because this is nothing but North Korea type messaging, keeping and controlling the message around this family. They are protecting them because we all know a week ago, yesterday, that big bombshell dropped. Now, this was a real bombshell. You all know that they like to call everything a bombshell interview, a bombshell TV show, a bombshell remark, or anything and everything, especially at one time, everything that Harry and Meghan did or said was a bombshell. But when a bombshell really, really happened, they are quiet. Chris Ship, you couldn't separate his lips with a crowbar when it comes to anything, anything about that family this past week. He didn't say anything about this bombshell report from CB Dispatch. I mean, what is it? C4 Dispatch and the Sunday Times about how they have been grifting off of the taxpayer. This family has, how they are slum lords, how they have their fingers in every just every segment of that country. It is making money by land, sea, and air. He didn't have nothing to say about that. But yet and still, I saw him on this Sun, just a clip. I saw it on X, formerly known as Twitter. One of the squatties had posted, and he up there talking about how it was going to be hard for Harry and to patch up the relationship with Charles because he don't know what he might say, and anything that they might say to Harry might be in a book, another book one day, and all this kind of nonsense that they're talking. When he knows himself that the person who really should be concerned about anybody talking about a conversation would be Harry, because those people have leaked everything that Harry has tried to keep private. And example one would be when he and Meghan was trying to step back, and his father kept on saying, put it in writing, put it in writing. And when they did, every aspect of what they had put in writing was leaked to the press. But yet it's still Harry's the problem. That's the reason I named my podcast yesterday that no, Harry's not the problem. They are. But they always want to try to make Harry the problem because Harry wrote down what they did to him. If they don't want Harry to have anything disparaging to say about them, they should be good to him. Be kind to him. Be honest with him. Be upfront with him and stop leaking on him and trying to destroy him and his family. How about that? And then he could have a relationship with his brother. He could have a relationship with his father. Because even if Harry talked about what they talked about, it would be all good. But no, the reason they have concerns if they talk to Harry and it may be leaked is because of what they want to say to him. They don't want to be good to him. They want to treat him like dirt and keep his mouth shut. That's what that's about. And he sat on this panel with this nonsense, him being one of the flying monkeys that they leak to all the time. He knows that the royal family does not do anything except leak. They don't do that, never explain, never complain bull. Gonna make me curse here on this YouTube. They know they don't do that. He knows they don't do that. And my whole thing is if they really want a relationship with Harry, be good to him. And guess what? When he says something about them, it will be good. But they don't want to do that. They want to continue to go back to treat him like garbage and him keep his mouth shut. But now they know they can't do that anymore. That's why they said they can't trust him because they can't treat him like they used to and him not say anything about it. Treat him good and he'll say that. What about that? All right, we're going to go to this. Well, when he and Kate got there, somebody was feminine, and evidently they put it on these internets. And of course, you know the squatties are gonna absolutely get everything that needs to be gotten. If it's something that comes up on the internet about them folks over there, it's gonna be a squatty somewhere to record it and screen grab it. Well, we all saw, and I saw the video of them arriving, and I watched it all, and it was very performative. That she put her hand on his back like Megan. He put his arm around her waist like Harry. But the minute they got to the door, all that fell away. He absolutely left her behind and acted as if she was not there. And this squatty posted this about it. It says, once he got the pat on the back shot for the sycophants, his default to his usual self. He couldn't walk fast enough through the door. He couldn't even be bothered to look back whether she came through it or not. And I saw the video, and that's exactly what happened. It's the same thing that happened in Southport. When he thought the cameras was not on and she passed by him, he recoiled. He did not want her touching him. And this is not the first time it's been caught on camera, him recoiling. And also, it was caught on camera in Southport when she was just smiling and waving at the few people who had showed up. And the minute that she thought the camera had stopped, her whole facial expression dropped. And this is what happened here. They know how to play it for the camera because even though it wasn't no people there, the press was there and they knew that they need to give them those shots. But they didn't know that this squatty who was way back, I guess maybe they were one of them 4 people who were passing by. I don't know. But they captured this. And the minute that door, that they got where they were out of the view of those cameras, he walked off and absolutely never looked back, didn't hold the door, didn't do any of that, just left her and did not look back to see if she was coming or not. Just like he did when they were coming out St. Paul's Cathedral when it was the Queen's Jubilee and Harry, you remember Harry and Meghan was there and she was looking over there at Megan. And when it was over, he was way ahead of her. And I mean, she was trying to keep up. That's the way it was. All right, I'm going to put this up. And it says the royal family remembering the war dead. In between taking money meant for the NHS, national defense, and criminal justice system and education. Patriotism. Where is the lie? They've been exposed so bad that people can't quite stomach them. They can't. And everything that they do is so performative but now it's been exposed and laid there for everybody to see. Here you standing up there pretending like you so patriotic, but you taking money from the NHS. You taking money from the military, the national defense. You taking money from the criminal justice system. You taking money from the educational system. You just taking money, period. You leeching. You a parasite. And that's the way people see them now. And also look here at this body language. Look at William and Kate as Charles walk in. The tension is there. They no longer care anything about him. They don't have to depend on him financially. They are waiting for him to get out of here. And like I said, I love this for him. I love this for him because this is all of his own creation. He put himself and that person ahead of his children. And now he is stuck with the one son who wouldn't give two pennies for his life. And I just love that for Charles. And I know Diana is somewhere all up above, kikiing and just absolutely doing all she can to make his life miserable because he deserved it. I'm just saying. All right, and this is about what the squatties are talking about also. They're talking about how the royal family makes everything about them. They center themselves in everything. They don't know how to read the room when it comes to it's not about you. Have you ever met somebody like that? Have you ever known someone like that? That mostly people like that are narcissists. They can't read the room. They think everything is about them. They're always centering themselves front and center. Everything is about them. And this squatty said this. Look at the mirror. Instead of in Remembrance Day, in Remembrance Day about the veterans, why is Kate on the front page of the mirror? It is the craziest thing. Talking about Kate will soon be back to work. Nothing about the veterans. It's ridiculous. This squatty said this. Why is Kate on the front page of the mirror? Remembrance Day is about veterans, not her. Why is her narcissistic self making it all about her? Why? Because if the shoe was on the other foot and this was Megan, and when Megan was over there, that's exactly what they were saying. So we want to know. And we do know now that they have power to make whoever they want to on the front pages. That's all I'm saying. We're going to put this up. Now, this was this morning for the Remembrance Day at the cenotaph. And as you see in the picture, people still ain't showing up. People still don't care. This was along the route. Now, it wasn't actually at the event because a lot of it was people at the event because it's a lot of politicians show up, and a lot of veterans organization shows up. So you're going to have a whole lot of people at the cenotaph because it is people who are going to be there. They're there every year. They're locked in. But the people on the route, the people on the outside where the barriers are, for the people who don't have a particular role in the service, that's what the barriers are for. And as you can see in this picture, nobody's out there. They had a crowd at the cenotaph, like I was saying, but everybody there had a role within the service. It was a reason why they were there. They show up every year. They have this role. But the people behind the barriers that the barriers are set up for, those are the people who come out. And nobody came out. Look at it. People are not feeling that family anymore. And this particular squatty up under here said, empty streets on Remembrance Sunday. Nobody really cares to go out and watch the royal show. A huge difference from Queen Elizabeth's years. And you see, the street is empty. And this particular squatty did a quote on top of that and said, no amount of tax funded Prince William or Kate Middleton trying to copy independently finance Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan's playbook at the cost of their dwindling mystique will save it. Plus, family that is blocking Harry's security. And what this squatty is saying is the mystique is gone. This conversation has been talked about on a lot of these different panels. They're talking about since Queen Elizabeth II was lowered down in that vault, that the mystique is gone. Meaning that the whole feel of royalty is no longer. Elizabeth was one of a kind and evidently a dinosaur because she absolutely had created a mystique of royalty. Her presence. People felt like, I can't disrespect the queen. She was the proper queen. But this is Charles's fault. It would have been so different if Charles had been a different person. If Charles had Diana as his queen, it would be the very same thing because Diana had that mystique. Everybody wanted to show deference to Diana because she showed deference to everybody else. She was the people princess. She loved the people. But he went and got this other man's horse and made it queen, and he damaged the monarchy. And the way he did it, and the way he treated Diana, and the way he treated his children in order to clear the pathway, it's all have just come together to just make a mess. And everybody said it. It was all being talked about prior to the Queen's passing, that it was going to be the end of this monarchy because she was the glue that was holding it together. She was the heartbeat of this firm. And now that the heartbeat has stopped, it is slowly but surely dying. And the streets don't lie. You know what that's saying? The streets don't lie. And those streets are telling me they don't care about them folks. Neither do I. All right, I'm going to put this up. And this was tweeted out by the royal family. And it says, we remember them. On behalf of the nation, the king lays a wreath at the cenotaph during the annual service of remembrance. Wreaths were also laid by the Prince of Wales and the Princess Royal and the Duke of Edinburgh, and on behalf of the Queen and Duke of Kent. Every time they say the Queen, I be like, why are they laying a wreath for the dead Queen? I forget about he talking about his horse. For a minute, I was like, why is he laying a wreath for the dead queen? But I digress, y'all. I digress. And I wasn't trying to be messy then either. For a minute, I did. I was like, why is he laying a wreath for the dead queen? But he mean his horse. He mean his horse. So they posted that, and this squatty piggybacked on it and reposted and said this: spotlighting, highlighting, and focusing on 4 pictures, focusing on the family. 0 pictures focusing on the veterans. Did we miss anything? Look at these four pictures, all about them. That is their problem. They don't get it. See, they cannot figure out why Harry is so successful. Why is Harry so loved? Why is Meghan so successful? Why is Meghan so loved? What is it about her? What is it about him? What was it about Diana? Just what I just said about Diana. Diana, I mean, people showed deference to Diana, showed love towards Diana because Diana in return showed love and deference towards people. And that is the same thing with Harry and Meghan. That is why Harry is so popular. That is why Meghan is so popular. That's why they have that shine. It's because they genuinely care about people and they show the deference to the people. You could never get Harry to post any kind of nonsense like that. Not on a Veterans Day. But see, they are so used to being centered that they don't know when something is not about them. They make everything about them. And that's why people are sick of them. And I am one of them. Let's go on. I'm gonna put this one up, and this squatty is this squatty says this. She says, "I am no friend of deadbeat dad, but he is looking spryly compared to William, who is rapidly wasting away and looking more and more like Mr. Burns' identical twin. Are we sure Pa is the one with cancer?" William is looking horrible. He is, I'm telling you, we are 5 years into Harry leaving, and he has just about lost his grip. It's something going on with him. I don't know what it is, but it's something going on with him. And it's definitely something going on with him between him and Charles. You can see. Look at this picture, how he's looking. He is not even making eye contact with his father. They are not making eye contact. They are at war. And I just love that for them. I do. Because can you imagine being that kind of person? Just Charles was that kind of person to his mother. And now in return, William is that kind of person to him. It is ridiculous. And I just love it for both of them. I'm sorry, but I do. I'm going to put this one up. And this one says, yesterday was Kate's big 10th comeback. Because every time she come and do a little bit, she's coming back. She's coming back to work. And she's made a big comeback. And this squatter said this is a 10th comeback. Oh, how boring. That's the way I feel about it. It says yesterday was Kate's big 10th comeback for the year after being treated for, bear with me, people, precancerous cells. And all the articles that talk about her find a way to mention Meghan. Funny, when Meghan made a video with Harry, no one talked about Kate. Now, what is the lie in that? It seems that they cannot write anything. They can't, everything that these people do, they have to tie themselves in knots, suppress does to try to associate some aspect of it with Harry or Meghan or Harry and Meghan. They cannot stand alone. This is the royal family of the United Kingdom, and they honestly cannot stand alone on their own. They have to be associated in some form or fashion. Some little, just like William. William over there looking at jam and then briefing the press that he's trolling Meghan with this jam in order to get some headlines. They cannot get anything on their own. It's ridiculous. But yes, where is it? It's a funny thing when Megan made a video with Harry, no one talked about Kate. When Megan or Harry does something, nobody mentions those people. They have not mentioned them in years. They don't need to, but they can't keep Harry and Megan's name out of their mouths. Every panel, every article, everything is has to be about Harry and Meghan. I saw a couple of panels the day, that what is it, royalty or I forgot the name of the show, and that's what they were talking about. They had that little pipsqueak Jack Royston on there, and they had the lady with the curls that used to be on Talk TV. I forgot her name. They were all talking and just discussing how Harry should come back or what they need to do to make it right, and saying that they cannot see William having a reign as the king of the United Kingdom and he not have or have made amend with his brother. What in the heck does Harry have to do with William's kingdomship? Why can't he reign as king without Harry and him making up? It's the craziest thing before my life. And then they also talk about the sadness of how Lily and Archie is not going to get to know George and Louis and Charlotte. I say, okay, at this stage in their lives, I do think that might be sad. It should be nice to be able to grow up with your cousin. But let's think back. Harry and William grew up with their cousins. And look how Harry's cousins have shanked him since he just decided to step back from that family. They have shanked him on every end, Zara and all of them. And that is what I believe Charlotte and Louis and George would do because they are being raised in that system. And being raised in that system, you are raised with the whole poppy syndrome and and pretty much raised to be a viper, to be a scorpion, to sting one another. And even though little Archie and Lily would be raised with them, when they became adult and they started to outshine them, then they would be treated the same as their mom and dad is being treated now. So, is it really a good idea that they grow up with Louis and with George and with Charlotte? Because the Louis and George and Charlotte that we see today is not going to be the Louis and George and Charlotte as young adults or adults. They're going to be like their parents. They're going to be like Kate. They're going to be like William. And hopefully Archie and Lily is going to be like their parents, Harry and Meghan. So I don't really think that it's that big of a disaster, to be honest, that they are raised separate because you also have, they're not like regular people, like regular family. Those children, the Wells children, are being raised within the firm. They're going to be a total different kind of person than Archie and Lily. And so, in order for Archie and Lily to be protected, I think, yeah, I don't feel bad about that. I don't. I do not feel bad that they don't know Charlotte and Louis and George because I think it might be for the best. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. But that's my feelings. Yeah, I'm gonna put this up. And this says, this is what happened when you lie about having cancer. Sophie looks a good 15 years younger than Kate. Now I don't know about that because to me, both of them look like the witches of Eastwick. Both of them look like they just hopped off their broom and came onto the balcony. So, and I don't know. But does Kate look weird? She does. She looks old. She does. She definitely do not look as good as our Duchess, I must say. And I think that really kills them. And this one right here, she is now in Kate's younger days, was she pretty? Yeah, she was very pretty. Very pretty. But she just that's all she had going for her. Now, did she use what she had to get what she needed and wanted? Yes, she did. And you have to give her props for that. Now, she snaked her way all the way to the top, as did Camilla. Now, she is not as snaky as Camilla is. She is not as skilled as Camilla because Kate actually was beautiful. And she still is not an ugly woman. She just aging rapidly. But Camilla always have been ugly. Camilla is ugly. She was ugly when she was young, and she's really, really ugly now that she's old. But she's been able to find a goofball, a dumb person like Charles, and was able to parlay it into the big head. So you got to give her props now. How it goes for side chicks, Camilla has done pretty good. She did. You have to give her props, and I'm giving her props. Because ugly she is, and be able to parlay what she did with it and end up with the big hat. All right. She's really, really ugly. She always have been really, really ugly. She built like a bicycle, and she absolutely is not very smart. She's not articulate. She's a drunk. I mean, she has no redeeming qualities. But yet and still, she was able to parlay to work her evil spells and got the big head. And still not happy with it. Her or him are not happy with the job. But I just love that for them. But they did everything to do that, to get there. She did everything to get there. And now her health is failing her. And I love that for her. I am not going to lie about it. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm a better person because I'm not. I love it. I love it. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up. It said if you look at the untampered photo taken by Getty today at the cenotaph, she clearly has not had a facelift. Squatties, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. It is and looks even older than her years. Our media has been photoshopping her for years. And the picture taken yesterday at the UK media shows a perfect face. Squatties, I'm telling you. That's one reason why I love X, formerly known as Twitter. The squatties over there go hard. They do. They kind of hold back on Instagram, but the squatties go hard over there. Tell me this is not hard. If you look at the untampered photo taken by Getty Images today at the cenotaph, she clearly has not had a facelift. And looks even older than her years. Tell me, squatties, y'all, I'm telling you, I cannot with these squatties. I cannot, y'all. But look at this picture of Kate. Kate looked like she just about to cast a spell on Snow White. Oh, Lord. I'm going to put this up. It says she needs to refund. I'm telling you, squatties need to stop. This particular squatty said she needs a refund if she had a Ooh, I'm telling you, y'all. I'm telling you. Oh, I cannot. I cannot. They need to stop. I'm just saying. All right, I'm gonna put this up. I'm telling you, the squatties are on the third day of Groundhog Day of Dragon Kate. And I'm telling you, I think the third day is even the best day of them all because it is some funny, funny posts. This one said St. Kate, age 42, Sophie, age 59. Kate is definitely having Kate is definitely having a rough time keeping up. Kate is definitely having a rough time keeping up with all of her own BS. It's showing on her face. I'm telling you, squatties need to stop. I must say, she does look older than on this particular picture right here. I must say, 59 is looking way better than 42. Kate looks really, really wrung out. But to say she's definitely having it rough, having a rough time keeping up, I cannot, y'all. I cannot. All right, we're gonna put this one up. It said, "Gosh, what is it with all the bags under all the bags under her eyes? No touch up here, huh? She looks so old." And that's poetic justice. Meanwhile, Megan is looking young, youthful, beautiful, drop dead gorgeous, and this old hag Kate is just down the hill for all the hate and lies that she says about Megan. I'm telling you, it is Groundhog Day. It is Groundhog Day. Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm telling you. And I'm gonna put this one up. This is about pretty much about how the squatties had dug into what Kensington Palace started out saying about Kate, saying that she didn't have cancer, and admitting that this was just pre-cancer cells and everything. And then all of a sudden, I think they figured out that they could get something out of it, and that's when they start really making and creating this lie around the fact that Kate somehow has cancer. When they absolutely figured that out, that's when the lie started to grow. And this particular squatty said this: "I will bring back where Kensington Palace confirmed and doubled down that Kate Middleton did not have cancer, and it was not being treated for it after the surgery. This put together with all of the shenanigans that happened after all of the fake photos, etc., and her reappearing looking refreshed apart from the busted eye." I believe this headline once again. Precancerous cells are not is not cancer. Kate is a healthy, cancer-free 42-year-old who is enjoying almost a year off with no questions allowed to be asked, but made a mockery of the real cancer patient. No wonder she hasn't a single visit to any no wonder she hasn't a single visit to any cancer hospital or charity. And this particular squatty went back and found the article. And the article said Palace confirmed that Kate Middleton is not undergoing cancer treatment after surgery. It said Kate, the Princess of Wales, 42, is being treated in hospital after undergoing a successful abdominal surgery. I think a hysterectomy, probably partial hysterectomy. The palace announced she was admitted to the London clinic on Tuesday for planned procedure. And you know what? I'm going to say this. It is, I hope one day it all comes out because they really acted so strange behind that. William showed up one day to visit her. He spent 15 minutes. He came with his PR guy and they left. And nobody saw him, her family, or anybody until she supposedly got out 2 weeks later. Nobody saw her leave or anything. They were absolutely staking the hospital out to see if they could see when she left or not. Nobody even saw her when she left. It is so much shenanigans going around all of this. It is so shrouded in mystery. And when something is shrouded in mystery like this, it is something to be found out. They are hiding something. Now, do I know what is they're hiding? I do not know. It said Kensington Palace have confirmed that Princess Kate does not have cancer and is not undergoing treatment for it. The 42-year-old Princess of Wales had a successful abdominal surgery and is currently in hospital, the palace shared. The Princess Kate will stay in the hospital for about 2 weeks before going home to recover. She expected to take a break from royal duties until Easter. Based on her doctor's advice, her husband, Prince William, will not undertake official duties while his wife is in hospital and during the immediate period following her return home. I really, really feel that she had a hysterectomy and that um that's it. That's all she had. And they used that abnormal pap smear that had the precancerous cells on it and used it in order to parlay it into something that Kate is cancer stricken. Kate is, to parlay it into sympathy and popularity because they thought this particular thing, this whole cancer stricken Kate, would cleanse her from the stench of racism and also bolster her and William's popularity, where it would be to the point where they would be more interesting and more desired and more clickbaity than Harry and Meghan. Because don't get this twisted. This is all about chasing Harry and Meghan's fame and cleansing the stench of racism off of Kate. That's what that's about. And this whole big lie has been about that. And I'm telling you, it's people who are not holding back, and they are just pretty much saying it out there to anybody who will listen, including the BBC. Anywhere they see them say that Kate is cancer stricken. And I believe the press have been instructed to make sure they enter that in every article that they write about Kate. Because every article they write about Kate, they say she's cancer stricken. They underline it and make sure it's in bold letters. They'll say she is chemotherapy. They underline it and make sure it's in bold letters. I believe they've been instructed to do that. Why is all of them doing that? And I read a lot of articles. I dig a lot. And since all this happened, I have yet to read an article about Kate that didn't say she was either cancer stricken, she was being treated for cancer, or something about chemotherapy and cancer. Nothing is written about Kate unless it has cancer in it. All right, y'all, I want to talk about something different now. I want to talk about Scotty's little soldiers. They were there at the cenotaph, And look, they were dressed all in their scarves and everything, and it said preparing to march. I would love if Harry could have been there. But dealing with them folks. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna put this up. It said Prince Harry sent bags of goody snacks to those waiting in line, knowing it would be a long day. This is the Prince Harry, the royal family, and the British media has been unsuccessfully unsuccessful trying to monster while covering for Slumlord Willie and Kate Middleton's faking cancer. Where's the lie? They did everything that they could. They threw everything at Harry so the British public would hate him. And they have come to terms with the fact they have been unsuccessful at that because Harry is a good guy. He does things like that. And look at this. Here's a picture of the little goodie bag that they made up for each one of the children. So when they're standing in line, they will have some kind of goodies and they wouldn't get hungry. This is how Harry and Meghan think. They think of other people. William and Kate never would have thought of that. They have never thought about giving anybody anything until Harry and Meghan came along. They never thought about doing anything for anybody until Harry and Meghan came along. I love these little goodie bags. It's amazing. How amazing was Alexi just now on BBC Breakfast? And this one of the Scottish little soldiers was on the breakfast shows, and she was telling about the goodie bag with Harry and Scotty's little soldiers being there at the cenotaph. And we're going to put this up. It says, speaking of Harry's involvement, Miss Scott said he's very much in contact. He sent the children sweets today as well. They all have sweets in their pockets from Prince Harry. And here's another picture of it. Oh, they look so good. And look at the little kids that had gotten into it. And the media is all over it. All over it because anything that comes from Harry is a prize, something that is so prized by them. But yet and still, he is the black sheep. He is the one to be destroyed. These people need to stop. They need to stop. All right, y'all. I want to talk about this. And this is going to be one of my last stories. And it's about King Charles. He's having a birthday. He's turning 76. And you know what Charles is doing for his 76th birthday? Trying to incorporate some of the things that Harry is doing, helping people. But what he chose to do is to open a food bank, 2 food banks. It says King Charles, King to open 2 food distributions hubs to mark his 76th birthday. Charles is going to open 2 food banks for his birthday. He don't get it. He still do not get it. It said the hubs designed to save the circulation tone of surplus food are part of the Coronation Food Project, which is marking its first anniversary, an initiative to support charities that feed the nation with unwanted food. Charles, it said it is hope that the hubs will aid charities like Fair Share and Felix Project in supporting communities in need. The king will also attend a surplus food festival at one of the hubs with meals created from food that would otherwise have gone to waste. He will also meet the beneficiaries and representatives of food banks, schools, and community groups. Also performative, and they said this must be British humor. It must be British humor. I'm gonna put this one up, y'all, and it says Harry released the paperback version of Spare, added nothing new and did zero promo. Yet the book shot straight to #1 in the UK. When it comes to that island, the Sussexes got nothing to do but to sit back and count their money. Now, I was just saying that. I'm telling you, I bet you wait until tomorrow. It is going to be them talking to those Scotty's little soldiers about what they had in that bag that Harry gave them. Founder of Scotty's little soldiers said that Harry didn't even want them to tell anybody that he had gave them that bag of sweets. He wanted it to be, not reported. But the kids reported it. You know kids are going to say something. But Harry did not even want it to be said. But what you want to bet is mentioned time and time and time and time again tomorrow. It's as if they are addicted to Harry. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this picture of Kitty Cat up. Yes, I miss her. I miss this one right here. I miss her, but this was before all the lying about cancer, all of the snaking she has done to get where she's at. She was just a simple girl in London, being a lush and pretty much cursing out taxi drivers. Just a simple girl with a dream of capturing a prince and never having to work again. It was just a glimmer in her eye back then. And I love that. I miss this when she was just that girl. Also, we know we got to put this up, and this pretty much says it all. If you mess with Harry and Meghan, the Sussex squad will come for you and eat your face off. All right, y'all. Bye.